Little bit of whiskey, girl, I know you miss me. All right, we sound good. This one's titled, The 8-Hour Workday Was Designed to Keep You Broke, Anxious, and Tired by the hot women from downtown.
This is crazy, okay? I asked ChatGPT, why are people still working 40 hours a week when we have more wealth and technology and automation than ever before? And the answer, it read like a strategy manual for how to keep a population broke and anxious and obedient. So here's what it told me, okay? It said that the 8-hour workday has nothing to do with productivity, because studies show that most people are only productive for 3 to 4 hours a day. The system keeps them working 8 because exhausted people don't resist. They don't.
Actually, we've talked about this like 1,000 times, like, just milking the clock. Nestor, you've worked classic 9 to 5s. I've actually never had a 9 to 5. We did a video recently, a young dude talking about how like the 9 to 5 is going to die. And I kind of combated it with the world set up in a 9 to 5 system. It's not that I didn't agree with the guy, but I do agree with the fact that even what we're doing here, like making YouTube videos, we really only have a good 4 or 5 hours in us. Honestly.
Sure.
Literally. And even in between that time, in our 5-hour window, 1 hour of it, it's bullshit. We're just sitting there talking, which is equivalent to being at a classic 9 to 5, going to the kitchen, right? Going to the bathroom, dicking around with Susan at the front desk. You know, she's hot, right? So I do agree with that. Most of it is complete bullshit. But I'm going to take a wild guess on why people are still working a classic 8-hour day. Just a crazy guess. Nestor, tell me if I'm tripping. I'm going to go ahead and say money.
Bingo.
They don't question anything. They don't build. They recover just enough to repeat the cycle. When people are overworked and overtired and burnt out, they spend more. They stop thinking long term, they stop building wealth, and then they pay for convenience and relief and distraction. The system, it sells you a life path that is built entirely on debt. College, house, wedding, car, kids. Life is front loaded with expenses. None of that is designed to actually generate income. By the time they're 25, they've already sold off decades of their future labor hours they haven't even lived yet. They think that's normal, but that's actually the trap. Here's where it gets more.
Well, luckily, most people nowadays aren't doing any of those things. So I feel like it is happening, right? I feel like the last thing to go is going to be the classic 8-hour workday. But I also don't know how that's possible. I think this lady's some kind of a guru or something. Let's see where she's going with this. The hot guru.
More calculated, okay? Tired people.
Madam Money. That'd be a good name for a chick. Madam Money?
She's actually a money coach.
Oh, she is. Her name is...
No Budget Babe.
No Budget Babe. All right, sugar. Give me it. Tell me what your magic is. You know what? When I hear a hot chick, though, like... I'm not saying you can't be a hot woman and be broke. I'm sure it does happen. But, like, dude, let's be honest. If you're a hot woman... I'm having a hard time imagining you not being able to manipulate some cash.
Ooh.
I'm not saying from selling yourself, right? Like sex-wise. I'm just saying if I was hiring somebody and you were like remotely even smart and you're a hot chick and Nestor came in.
Oh, yeah. Dude, but
this guy comes in to interview and then all of a sudden we got this chick?
all right. But dude, hot women do well in sales.
I'm just saying.
And have you ever seen a real estate agent woman that wasn't hot?
Dude, you know what a crazy one is?
What?
One of my homies, black dude, he was a real estate agent for a year. Didn't sell one house. And he was like, dude, I don't think being a black real estate agent is a thing. Look up how many real estate agents are black. Look that up and get back to me. I'm serious, though. And I kind of thought about it, and I was like... Yeah, I go now that I thought about it even more, I was like, I feel like it's mostly women. Look up how many real estate agents are black and then also how many real estate agents are women. That's what I want to know.
people spend more, but anxious people spend fast. So the system engineers anxiety. It floods you with unrealistic expectations and financial pressure and nonstop comparison. And that same system tells you you are behind and you are not enough. And then it offers to sell you the solution. A workout plan, a productivity app, a face serum. They create the problem and then monetize the cure. They first profit from your labor and then they profit off of your emotional fallout. And they've convinced you that it's your fault. Now, I got out of this system, okay? Not by working harder, but by learning how money actually works, by studying what the rich do and not listening to the propaganda sold to the middle and lower classes. You need to learn how to stop trading time for money, how to build income through assets, how taxes and debt and investing actually work. Because the people that do, those are the ones that actually win. They built this.
Okay, I'm going to agree with her, but also you have to get money before you can get assets. The whole not work. Okay, I understand working smarter and not working harder. I completely get that, okay? No offense to Madam Money over here. But you have to start somewhere.
Sure.
For instance, if you're working the 8-hour day, right? Before YouTube became successful for me, I went to work, my regular job, like a regular person, like everybody else in the world. And then I got off work and then I worked some more until this started making money. And then when this started making money, I kept both. And I kept doing that for another year until I was like, okay, this thing's working. Now I can work smarter versus harder. But even when you do start making money, let's say you got $100,000, which is a lot of bread. You're just going to magically, what are you going to, it takes a lot more money. I mean, you could, okay, I don't want to say you can't start making money with $100,000, but it takes an exorbitant amount of money to do what she's talking about. Dude, it is so fucking hot in here.
Oh yeah, it's toasty. But to your question,
cold too. I'm like, oh.
To your question, yeah, 6% of real estate agents are black.
Only 6%?
Yeah, and 62% of all realtors are female. So
I knew it. Now, how many are black women? That's the real question. I'm just kidding. Don't look that up. All right, here we go. You cannot tell me that a 9-to-5 isn't modern day slavery. Yeah, I felt. People who watch my channel all the time know how I feel about classic 9-to-5. I've never had one because I was like, no way, I can't do it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying for me, I understand the task-oriented thing. I really do. But then I also understand that the world works from 9 to 5, except for odd jobs, restaurant business, stuff like that. So it's kind of it is a weird setup. It kind of is. And let's say everybody stopped doing a 9 to 5 and they only worked 4 hours a day. I guess it happens in other countries. I guess that's a real thing. They have siestas. They're just not open for 2 hours in the middle of the day. Maybe we have a thing with convenience, right? But if everybody stopped the 9 to 5 business or the 9 to 9 business or the 24-hour business like Amazon, you're not going to get your packages ever. Right? I think we're set up in America on convenience. So there is a level of not everybody's going to be able to just work 4-hour days or have their money making them money. I don't know. I'm all for it, right? I do agree with her. But is everybody going to be a drop shipper? Can everybody just get $1 million and have that make 5% year over year? That's the weird part where she's saying that's kind of... Maybe she's selling a course or something. Okay. When you are in survival mode, you can't be creative. That's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. The most creative I ever got was when I was working 2 jobs. I fucking did not. Well, I enjoyed one of the jobs. I always enjoy wherever I'm at for the most part, unless it's really manual labor, intensive shit, then fuck that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm building my own house, different story, right? Or if I'm making all the money, totally different story. But when I really hated my life, that's where my mind was working the most. Maybe not everybody feels that way. Maybe that's just...
I think it's one of two spectrums. Either it absolutely motivates you to get out, do anything you can, or you shut down completely.
Just give up.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It's either or.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm so mentally exhausted. Yeah, I get that. But but that's what I'm saying is when you get to the point where you've had enough, sometimes you have to get so mad so pit, you're just
yeah.
fucking pissed. That's like the time for me, at least, where it's like, I got to do something about this. And I think a lot of people just don't, they don't use that. Like, I don't know. Let me see. She is doing exactly the same thing as the system, monetizing the cure to her presented problem. What? Okay. Does ChatGPT give a solution? See, this whole asking ChatGPT thing, that's what blows my mind, right? That's what really blows my mind.
Dude.
That, like, I'm so against the AI stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm not against it. Like, we use AI. I don't mean to, but when I Google something, it's like AI overview. I guess we're forced to use it. Can we all get together, please, and fight for all of us for a better life?
How?
Let's see. Let's get one more good comment here. I do agree with her, though. I do. I agree with the 9 to 5 notion being bullshit. I agree with that. But I also don't agree with, like, the whole not having to work hard deal. Like, unless you come into I'm going to end on that note. Unless you come into an exorbitant amount of money, even then, you don't even probably know what to do with it. Like, most people, church steeple, they get any kind of money. They spend more than they have. So, like, what I mean is, let's say you got 20 grand in the bank. You go out and get a loan for a $50,000 car. You don't even have 50 grand. Like, this is how most people operate. So, the truth is it takes a lot of discipline. And honestly, you're going to have to work way more than 8 hours a day to become financially independent. Like, I don't have a problem. Like, obviously, I don't care. Like, this lady's probably cool. She's probably selling some kind of course or, like, let me teach you the ways. No shade. I get that. Make your money. But, like, what she's saying doesn't make any sense. Like, I've never met anybody, regular person, who didn't have to work 8 days a week to get fully ahead. Nestor, you good?
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll leave a link to her down below. Unreal. Get the fuck out of here. Be a good book, though. Broke, Anxious, and Tired by Sanjay Collins. Classic.